Hello, welcome to October. So Gaia speaks of October perhaps being full of surprises, and that we may experience October as really a series even of surprise moments, of surprising revealings and unfoldings. And you could see it as the notion that we are in the final wrapping up as we step into many unfolding. So both of those happening in strong ways during this month as we are continually turning over to the new, as though we're looking at something, turning it over and looking at it again, and then coming into observing a new way, and especially a higher way of comprehending and understanding. So she said October will reveal itself much like a surprise gift being unwrapped. There may be fireworks, surprise events, unfathomable truths, grand reveals, and a sense of excitement at the same time as feeling relief and reassurance. So this will be happening within ourself, and we will be witnessing this around the world. Gaia says the sun both sets and rises in October. We will witness the end of an era in a way that is very tangible. It is not that all will be resolved and completed during this month, but that clarity and resolution will be seen and much fear will be released. So we will find it easier to have greater equilibrium. And this sense of anticipation, she says, will grow and develop as the masses recognize this shift in their own personal well-being and world. So she says the world turns this month. There will be many endings and new beginnings. The new garden begins to form as a soft glowing golden light now emanates from our planet, and this will increase in both vibration and in light, as will each of you. Great work, she says. You have all done magnificently, and I honour and bless you for your service here. Our new Eden awaits. You are invited to strongly hold the vision for your new life and new world. So we've had a range of energies streaming in, and everybody receives these not necessarily in the same order. And so it's good to be mindful of that. I always see the progressions as us spiraling up, and we spiral through different things at different times, and that includes our releasing and absorbing. So some common kind of energetic shifts that have been going on over this last little while, that many people have been feeling a range of vibratory both notes and sensations in their hearts, as hearts have been being activated, really. Activated and held and expanded as we get better at exploring what sits in our essence as truth, and as we come into this higher and greater way of being with ourselves and with others. Hello, JS. And it's rather beautiful, it's this idea of being able to and to have the wherewithal to fall in love with self. And for some people, that will be a new experience. It will be a bit like tasting. That was interesting, wasn't it? Something just flew across the camera lens. Sorry, I know I can see it was an ant. I can see it was an ant now, so it wasn't anything else. Yeah, so we're just beginning to let go enough as humanity to begin to see and feel these higher resonances. So we had these very sweet, that was how they showed up to me, these very sweet energies pouring into the heart. This was a couple of days ago. To bring the perspective of viewing from a higher vantage point or from a higher perspective, assisting humanity to begin to look more for benefits in what they have been observing, and the obvious being to awaken more and to assist this grand awakening that we are very much in the midst of. And it's very important from my perspective to remind everyone that, we are watching what has already occurred in the etheric higher realm come into play in the physical. So this is the grand awakening. So this goes hand in hand with a need to be connected to one's internal self, to be in one's empowerment and in one's own sovereignty, thereby making empowered decisions about what you do and about the out of date, the no longer relevant. And that it's important that each of us do that, getting up and standing up for not only what is our right, but what is right. And so it's not about being demonstrative with it, it's about being empowered within it and standing within it. So we've also had these streaming energies, and they appear, I was watching them, they appear as beautiful, and then I see them as diamond light, but they were streaming everywhere, to be honest. They were streaming up through us, down through us, around us, very much like a fountain as well. And they were definitely, the light I saw was this refraction of a lot of cooler colours. So streaming in and around the earth, the same as us, in both a north-south direction and a south-north direction, and both clockwise and anti-clockwise. And yet, actually, at that moment when I was writing that, they were showing up differently in our bodies to the earth. And I think that would be the very first time that I've noticed that the earth and us were having a different experience of energies, whereas usually it's the same. So in our bodies, they were showing up as also streaming into the throat, higher heart and heart, but they were streaming in what I want to call a trapezoid shape. So I guess I can explain it as, might not be mathematically correct, but that was the word I got, a trapezoid shape. But when I saw it visually, it was like a diamond shape, but a bit more cut off at the top, like a flat section on the top. So a little bit squared off on the top. Streaming into throat, higher heart and heart, and very intense in their feeling. So this is really activating, there's a very powerful activating energy for us to be speaking our truth and to not have any fear around that anymore, because we can be so much in our sovereignty that it doesn't matter whether other people believe it, receive it, or accept it. So our internal choice points clearly made by our souls now, and these higher codes are coming in for the higher aspects of self. They're very strongly kind of arriving and settling in now. This greater culmination of our grand awakening. Choice points clearly made, internal compass points and grids and groups clearly dialed in, a sense of some last deep breaths for final landing, for final arrival, and for final delivery. Joyous cups overflowing, love and flow, cascading and up-leveling. Relax and release. We've got this. And if you really feel into yourself, you will know that. You will know that as this very deep internal feeling. All of the darkness and density and the shadow from our planet is in final dissolution as it is exiting the planet or is being absorbed back into the light. And it is all up from here. I'll just check where I'm up to here. No, that's right. Okay. So this internal knowing is going to rest in as this internal feeling for everybody of a reassurance that all is well and will be well in the world, even if it is not known how. We can really drop into the trust with that knowing, that deep inner knowing that it is, even if we don't know how. That there will be ongoing, incremental, internal shifts for many, as many experience this time as like watching the dawn light when one cannot see the sun. So it's this experience of it gradually opening from being the dark of the night into the light of the day. But if you can't see the sun rising, there's no experience of knowing where the point of change is. It's like that. That's how it was shown to me. So if you imagine that you're watching the light change, but it's this gradual movement of change through. And then there's this, we're now in this new light. It's that kind of experience. So the light changes bit by bit from darkness to light, and yet no discernible point at which the change can be noticed in that gradual unfoldment happening over a given time. And she's saying that others may sit like the Buddha in silent repose and deep knowing that they are in the midst of this magical and incredible unfolding, and feel this so deeply in their bones and in their inner knowing. And you may begin to feel this excitement arising from within. And for me, it really sits on this readiness for tears of release and excitement, those sorts of tears that I spoke about, the relief, the release of knowing that everything is going to be okay, that everything is going to be peaceful and easeful for everyone. So this excitement arises from within, and these, if you're feeling that, you need to know you're a creator of our world, and everyone is, but if you're at that point now, know that you're in that space of being a creator of our new world, and you're creating your own reality, creating our new earth through those experiences. And it's important to know that this role is one that you're playing, this envisaging your own experience and envisaging and holding a sense of excited anticipation about what our new earth will look like and feel like as you birth the concepts and constructs of our new way of being by holding the energy and vision for them and behaving, moving and acting accordingly with the knowledge that it is done, it is here, and you're part of the co-creation of that. So that's the mindset to be holding, and then to pull that down, to drop into your heart with that. And there will be others, Gaia says, who will vacillate between those two groups. The ongoing sort of incremental shifts and noticing, and then the people who are likely to be like the people who are here at the moment, or the people watching this idea that, you know, you're leading the way, you're co-creating the new world, and there'll be some in the middle that move from one to the other. So experiencing both at various times and in various ways. So it's interesting how they, that's what was shown to me, is that these three groups that humanity is sitting in at the moment. And also that there still may be those around who are carrying the persona of both looking and appearing dazed and confused because they are unsure as to what is going on, and that's their chosen journey at this time. So we are asked to be the observer, to allow everything to unfold for each, and remembering that everybody has already designed and chosen their own experience for this time, for their own particular lessons and soul growth, or as their contribution to the greater whole of the ascension of the planet. So I'm showing that many may traverse this month jumping from one track to the other as they attempt to know and understand what has gone on in their world. And in the same way, they will begin to learn to navigate more and more from their own internal space and from their own heart space, as that really becomes the navigation center. So this is a magnificent dawning that we will observe during October. And so it really does show up as more of the things that hold us in the negativity as humanity dissipating, losing their hold as more and more people are tipping over into carrying more light and more observation from their heart space, and coming in to what many of you have probably already done, but you know, we'll be witnessing more of that, more people being softer, more people being less critical, less judgmental, as this integration of what is going on sort of settles in, and we recognize that we are already in or that we are in the becoming of being in, depending on where people are sitting, to this new way of being. And so I just invite you to hold that, to hold the vision of that and the energy of that. So I feel to bring through some light language. So just give me a moment. If you don't know what light language is, it's language, I believe, of the soul. It is something that is felt and received, perceived by ourselves. You'll get a cellular response. When it's finished, you may feel clearer, you may feel more aligned, you may feel more expanded. And if at any time it doesn't feel good to you, then just feel free to leave. Light language generally feels very uplifting. Ia tōshia kana tata oshia ta hokana ia tōshi tiana ia rokana shi titi atakana ia shoiarana atakana shi iti atakana oa ishianara kana ia tiana kana ia to ia kana ta ia hu Ia toa, ia shia nakana, siarana hoai. Ia takana oa shitia narakana sitia. E chitia na akahoiana rakana shi. E tia rakana o atashitia. E kia na rakana shi shitia na. E a to ya rakana ia to. E shitia na. E kia na o shi ti e. A to akana shi. E a o shi ti a. Ka na ra ti shi. Ia ora na ara na ia shia shuia na ara shishia na ia kuia na iti akana shishiana. So I invite you to take a couple of long breaths. And I wish you a beautiful October. I'll come back again soon. Much love to you. Thank you for joining me.